Okay, magandang araw, grade 8. So, welcome to our lesson for today. So, I hope everyone is doing well and ready to listen and learn. So, for today's lesson, pag-uusapan natin ang new lesson which is entitled Strengthening the Bonds. So, dito, pag-uusapan natin kung paano ba natin mapapalakas ang bond or ang samahan at relasyon sa loob ng ating family. Ayan. So, before we begin, let's have a short recap. So, as we learned before, the family is the basic unit of society. So, it provides important things such as socialization, emotional support, and economic cooperation. So, it also helps develop our social and cultural values and gives us physical and emotional support. So, our family plays a very important role in our lives. But here's the question. So, how can we make our relationship with our family members stronger? That is what we are going to learn today. So, in this lesson, you'll determine ways in which one can build better personal relationship with each member of the family and strengthen the bonds of the family as a whole by improving communications with others. So let us start with something simple. So what is a quality time? So for you, ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng quality time? So based on this, quality time means spending meaningful time together as a family. So take note, quality time is not simply about being together for a long period of time. So ang mahalaga is kung paano natin ginagamit yung oras na meron tayo. So say for example, magkakasama nga kayo sa bahay pero lahat ay nagsa-cellphone. So technically, you're together, but are you really spending quality time together? So on the other hand, kahit sandali lang kayong magkausap or nag-uusap habang kumakain, as long as you're listening to each other and enjoying the moment, that can already be called as a quality time. So remember that quality time is not about quantity but about meaningful moments together. Okay, so listed here are the ways to spend quality time. So there are many simple ways to spend quality time with your family. So the first one, eat together. So ginagawa po ba yan sa mga bahay? So where in you share your meals and talk about your day with your family members. So maganda po itong paraan para magkaroon din po kayo ng kahit kakaunting or saglit na bond with your family members. So next one is explore together. So you can visit places, go on a short trip, or simply discover something new together. So third one is watching TV or watch TV or movies together. So hindi lang basta-basta nanonood kayo. So pwede rin kayong mag-usap tungkol sa movie pagkatapos and or magtanungan kayo. So what did you like about it? What did you learn from it? And lastly is learn together. So you can help one another with schoolwork or learn a new skill or simply listen to each other's experiences. So these are the ways or the common ways or the simple ways na pwede po natin gawin para mag-spend time po tayo with our family members or magkaroon din po tayo ng quality time with our family members. Okay, so why does quality time matter? So why is quality time important? So first, it builds stronger family relationships. Second, it improves communication and understanding. And third, it creates happy and memorable experiences. And fourth is it helps family members support and learn from one another. So kahit simple lang yung activity, so if it helps you connect with your family, it can be meaningful. Okay, so now let's talk about another important part of a strong family relationship. the what we call communication. So communication begins within the family. So ano nga po ba yung ibig sabihin ng communication? So communication means expressing our thoughts and feelings clearly and respectfully. So but remember, communication is not only about speaking. So it also means listening to what other people have to say. So good communication is a two-way process wherein um we need to speak clearly and listen actively. So for example, when you have a problem with your sibling, so hindi or huwag agad magsalita or magbigay ng judgment. So you have to listen first and understand what happened before giving your opinion. Ayan. So, good communication at home. So, how can we practice good communication at home? So, first is you have to speak politely and honestly. So, next one is you have to listen without interrupting. And then ask questions when something is unclear. And if you don't understand what your family member is saying, don't simply assume, but you have to ask politely. Okay, so next one is express your feelings without hurting others. Okay, so you can say, I feel bad or I feel sad because blah blah blah. Okay, so instead of shouting or blaming someone, you have to explain your side for them to know clearly. So, kung bakit ka ba na-feel sad or na-feel bad about something, okay? And lastly is pay attention to the other person's words and feelings. Avoid shouting, blaming, or immediately judging. Okay, so sometimes a small misunderstanding can become a big argument simply because hindi tayo nakinig ng tama. Okay? Hindi natin pinakinggan yung side ng iba. So that is why good communication is important. Okay, so now let's move on to another important concept, which is the empathy. So, what is empathy? So, empathy means trying to understand another person's feelings and point of view. So, a simple way to understand empathy is putting yourself in another person's shoes. So, ibig sabihin, bago tayo magalit or humusga, subukan muna nating isipin, kung ako kaya ang nasa sitwasyon niya, ano kaya yung mararamdaman ko? So, ano kaya ang mararamdaman ko? So, empathy helps us understand why people act or feel in certain ways. So, it can also help reduce anger, arguments, and misunderstandings. Okay, so let's say for example, your parent keeps reminding you to help with household chores. So your first reaction might be, ano ba yan? Ang kulit naman. But instead of becoming angry immediately, try to think about your parent's situation. So maybe your parent is tired, your parent is busy, maybe your parent has many responsibilities at home. So when you understand the situation, you may respond in a calmer and more helpful way. But reminder, empathy does not mean that you have to agree with everything. Okay, so it simply means that you are trying to understand the person's feelings and situation. Okay, so for the next one is the concept of adaptation. So hindi ko lang siya nalagyan ng title sa taas, pero this one is all about adaptation. So family members may have different interests. So ayan. So inside the family, people are different. So magkakaiba tayo ng interests, ng opinions, ng habits and ways of doing things. And that's completely normal. So for example, maybe you want to watch a movie, but your sibling wants to watch something else. Or maybe you prefer studying in a quiet place, while another family member likes to listening to music. So because we are different, we need, of course, to learn how to adjust. Ayan, take note nyo po yung word na adjust and cooperate with one another. So that is called adaptation. So, but remember, adapting does not mean giving up who you are. So it means reasonable changes so everyone can live together peacefully. So sometimes we need to adjust, not because we are wrong. Okay, so kailangan po natin mag-adjust because we want to maintain peace and harmony in our family. Okay, so let's proceed. So this next important concept is called compromise. So alam ko po na you are already familiar with this. Okay, so compromise means finding a fair solution when people have different wants or opinions. So sometimes both sides cannot get exactly what they want. So each person may need to give up a simple part of what they want for the good of everyone. So for example, ikaw gusto mong manood ng action movie, pero your younger sibling wants to watch a cartoon. Okay, so instead of arguing, of course, you have to agree to watch one today and the other one on the another day. So that's what we call compromise. Okay, so a good compromise should consider the needs and feelings of everyone involved. So it helps prevent unnecessary arguments and promotes harmony. So, always remember this one naman po sa compromise, sa concept ng compromise. Okay, so compromise is not about winning. So, it's about finding a solution that works for everyone. Ayan, so before we proceed or we end our lesson, so let's have a recap about those concepts. So first one is communication. So in communication, we express and we listen, okay? So for us to have a good and better communication with our family members. Next one is empathy. So sa concept ng empathy, again, we understand other people's feelings and perspectives, okay? So sa concept naman ng adaptation, we adjust to differences. Okay, to promote harmony with your family members. Okay, so sa compromise naman is we find fair solutions. Yan, so all in all, so these four concepts na nabanggit po natin or na-mention natin can help us build better relationship with our family members. Okay? Now, I want you to think about your family. So ask yourself, how do I spend quality time with my family? So do I listen when my family members are talking to me? Do I try to understand their feelings before judging them? Or am I willing to adjust when we have differences? Okay. And finally, try also to ask yourself, when there is a disagreement, do you try to find a fair solution? Okay. So remember, strengthening family relationships does not always requires big action. So sometimes, pwede po kayo mag-start with something na simple lang or kaya ninyong gawin. Like listening, understanding, spending time together, adjusting, and choosing to meet halfway. Okay, so that's the end of our lesson about strengthening the bond. So again, this is our lesson 4. So I hope you learned that having a strong family relationship is not about having a perfect family. So every family experiences misunderstandings and differences. Tandaan niyo po yan. So what matters is how we communicate, how we understand one another, and of course, how we adjust and how we work together to solve problems. Ayan, so for your activities, so please answer the activities na makikita po ninyo on your values book on pages 49 to 54. So you have to read the instructions carefully and answer honestly based on your own experiences. So thank you for listening, grade 8. So keep learning, keep communicating, and most importantly is continue strengthening your bonds with your family. So I hope you learn a lot today. So see you in our next lesson and good luck to your upcoming first monthly examination. So that is all for today. Good day po, grade 8.